Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, privet, good morning, bonjour, hola, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10. Yet again, another fine morning in SW16. How are you? I hope you're well. I say yet again, it hasn't been that bright lately, actually. But today, as I look out my window, beautiful sunshine, a little bit chilly, a little bit of a frost in the air, but a really lovely day so far. And may it continue to be so throughout the day. How are you? I hope you're well. Busy day for me on valuations today, bits and pieces. Just in the last few weeks, just on the rental side, what we've done is a couple of things have been happening. A lot of landlords are deciding still to sell up, and they're not sure how to do this in terms of the best way to work with their tenants. And there are several ways that you can do this, and we have some solutions that can help you. So if you're a landlord thinking of selling and you're not sure how to strategize that with regards to tenants serving notice, timing, that sort of thing, have a chat with us. We're experts. It's what we do. Apart from that, another thing we've been doing, lots of rent increases, sadly, and I know that's really hard on tenants. It's also really hard on landlords too, because quite often what we're finding is that the landlord's mortgages are going up disproportionately with the rental income that they've become used to achieving. So, for instance, some landlords' mortgages are literally hovering at or above the actual rent, which means that after expenses and after tax, actually going backwards. So many landlords are now putting up rents. That's really painful for tenants too, I know. Especially given the huge fuel bills and tough economy. The good news is that there's still jobs out there, at least as things stand at the moment. But I do think, I've said for some time now, we're in for a really tough time. And, with people choosing whether to heat or eat, fuel bills going up, rents going up, mortgages going up, there's really no respite, is there? Unless, of course, you've got your money in cash, in which case your savings rates are going up. Good for you if you're retired and you don't have to worry about these things. But then you're probably worrying for your children or grandchildren. But these things come in cycles, and yeah, it's going to be tough. It's a dark road ahead, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. These things always feel like they'll never end, but they do. It's a bit like Wednesdays, really, isn't it? A lot of people tell me they don't like Wednesdays because it's the middle of the week, and it's like, it's neither the beginning nor the end. Where are we? Personally, I love them because it's the night that I go and practice with my band. Vastly talented group of guys, mostly, except me, of course. I'm the least talented there. I mean that when I say that. The others are absolutely amazing, and it's a privilege to play with them, and I love to do it. And it's something we do every Wednesday, and it breaks up the week just perfectly for me. Just in property news now, if you're joining us for the first time, by the way, I should say, we're based in SW16 Norbury, which is between Streatham and Croydon. We're estate agents. We broadcast live every day. I call it Ken at 10 because my name's Ken, and it's broadcast at 10. It's that simple. And we talk about all things, particularly property. But just before I get into that, it's fireworks week. So please consider animals out there. I just hate to see dogs cowering. It's really scary, particularly for dogs, cats as well, but particularly dogs. So do be considerate if you've got animals that live nearby. And if you do have animals and you need to protect them from it, then perhaps turn up the music, try and get them away from the noise wherever you can, and get them out of those situations where you might find that they're amongst those banks, because it really is awful for pets. You see them shaking and shivering. And I always feel for them at this time of the year. That said, I do love a bit of a firework, don't you? That's the other side of the coin. So let's do some news for you. BBC, Daily Mail, Financial Times, Telegraph and Guardian say that house prices have slipped for the first time in October. And obviously these averages, it's a national average, so it's very hard to draw any hard conclusions from these, but it's 0.9%, which in the scheme of things is actually not that big. Mortgages, the Financial Conduct Authority is sending weekly surveys to lenders to collate information on availability and lenders to try and avert a mortgage crisis. The reason they're doing that is because what happens is as the market tightens, so banks can't any longer rely on huge rises in prices in the short term. And so they want to protect their position. And if the buyer or the borrower has a 95% mortgage, that means they're very exposed. And what they hope for is that the market will catch up with them quickly. And of course, in this kind of market, it just doesn't. It's going to stay flat for a while at best. And therefore, they tighten up their criterion considerably, further exacerbating the problem, actually. But that's another story. Banks have gained £3 billion from savers and borrowers. This is cheeky, really. The big five banks, there's an article in the Mail, but we've all had this suspicion, if you didn't know already. They've seen their net interest margins, and that's the gap between what they charge borrowers and pay savers, widen. and it's £3 billion more, just under 13 billion, July to September. And with rates expected to climb further, no doubts they will be quick to hike those mortgage rates, but not so quick to hike those savings rates, and by not as much. Cheeky, sneaky, huh? Apart from that, more homeowners are seeking lodgers. No surprise there, is there really? This is because of the rising cost of living. I know there was some conjecture about an article that was put up by Spare Room saying, did you know you could get £800 for your room? And everybody thought this was awful. But actually, if you've got a house and a spare room, why shouldn't you rent it out? You know, times are tough. Everybody needs the cash. And the average rent across the UK for a room is £438. In London, of course, it's much, much higher. London remains a top priority for investment, says the Times. And that's after surveys across Europe. And what else have we got? Oh, yeah, this is an interesting one I saw. Liam Gallagher is buying a house near one of his biggest rivals. Liam Gallagher is rumoured to be buying a £3.5 million country home near Blur rival Alex James. He's said to be joining the Chipping Norton set after checking out property in the Oxfordshire town, which is no doubt sprawling and in acres, something we can only aspire to. So, apart from that, I hope you're doing well today. We'll be back same time tomorrow with another edition. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and don't worry, that light is always at the end of the tunnel. If you are worried about things, by the way, fix on the things that you can change. You know, if you can turn that thermostat down a bit, if you can go out for a walk rather than stay in, come in, it's a bit warmer. Anything you can do, focus on those. Try not to focus too much on the broader things, because I always think, you know, people can get depressed really easily when they just look at things like the war and interest rates and the dark tunnel that we appear to be in. But if you focus on the things that you can do and look forward to the things in your life that make you happy, then it can make you feel a little bit better about things. I hope that helps. So thanks for watching. Oh, the other thing I should say, the one thing I want to say about rental is that because of these rent increases, we're getting a much higher influx of maintenance requests. And it's no mistake that when you put some tenants' rents up, you will find that there's, if you will, a quiet retaliation by the number of maintenance tasks that you're asked to do increasing, sometimes with justification, sometimes without. And you need to read between the lines there and decide. But yeah, certainly we've seen a massive influx in the number of requests for repairs and maintenance. We're keeping our contractors very, very busy. Thank you, Imran, Tom, Ash, and all the rest of the guys out there for your help. We need you so much at the moment. So thanks very much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition to Ken at 10. Until then, look after yourselves, and if you can, your family and friends. Ciao.